Welcome to Lynn Cullen Live, talk radio without the static. Email your questions and comments to lynn@pghcitypaper.com. And now your host, Lynn Cullen.
Hey, how you doing? I almost forgot to tune into my own show. Got in just as the buzzer sounded. Welcome. It's May 11th, and my sister should be on the other line, I think, because it'd be a Tuesday.
Yeah, I'm here. Isn't it interesting how that time just suddenly slips away?
Well, right. I thought of you. I did exactly what you do. I was knee-deep reading something on my phone, and I
thinking you kept track of time.
Yeah, it was the last time I looked. I had 5 minutes, and then I looked, and it was 10. Yikes!
Well, anyway, and I apologize in advance. I'm watching the bulldozer outside my window even as we speak, but it's working, but quietly.
Okay.
I can't
let me know that there were jackhammers and God knows what going on outside her door. So
directly, I mean, like a window pane away.
Yeah.
This is less than social distance away. They're all huddled outside the door.
Wonderful. Well, whatever.
Okay.
When I was last there, which wasn't all that long ago, it was clear that they're doing some major utility work in your area, because it was all, it was dug up all over across the street, I believe. So Susan is a proud recipient of another COVID child. Our family, which I think of as small, has seen the birth of 3 children.
Yeah, and this time when no one's having babies.
Isn't that something? 3, and the latest, what is she, a week old today?
She is. She was.
A week old today is.
No, not quite. She was born on the 5th.
Okay, whatever. She's a little thing. Looks bigger than she is, the pictures I've seen.
Well, she's not a little thing. She looks
formidable.
Well, she's 8 pounds. She's not little.
Is that, I think that, what is the average for a baby these days?
Smaller than 8 pounds. I mean, 8 pounds is most people's 2-week-old baby.
Because I always thought I was small, and I was 6 pounds something.
My kids were low 6 pounds. Arlie was 3 weeks early, so he was like 5 pounds 14 ounces or something.
Well, that was nice of him.
Yeah,
I don't know. I just keep looking at like that head, the big round head it looks like, and I'm thinking, jeez, I'm sorry. I'm a woman who has never given birth, and I can't even begin to imagine what it is like to push a living being with that head out of your body.
Well, the
or
good
even
news
the shoulders,
is,
I guess, are the worst
right.
part.
The
What's
good
the
news
worst part?
you don't have to be able to conceive, because your body takes over and does it for you. And your body is built for it. One's body is built for it. So barring anything extreme, it's just not a big deal. And in fact, that's the way it works. But anyway, they are ecstatic. They are.
That's so nice.
Yeah. This is the first day that I have no active plans to race right out and help them.
You have the day off.
We'll see. I'm on call. But,
okay.
I was reading a cute text exchange between my two children and my experienced father-son, and my new mother-daughter, and daughter saying that things were beginning to achieve normalcy, and Arlie said, "It's not hard. It's eat, poop, sleep, repeat."
That's normalcy.
So.
Eat, poop, sleep, repeat.
Right.
Yeah. And actually, that's pretty much us too.
Well, you aren't sleeping every,
Well, I know, but if on a larger timeline, that is.
That is. That's exactly it. But anyway, it's great fun, and all I have to say is to these mothers women who at the age of 60 or 70 decide that just because they can and medical science will allow them, they're going to have babies. I sat in a chair holding a sleeping baby for a couple of hours, and my back is out today. I just sat.
What made you?
And I'm in good shape.
Yeah. Well, what made you think of that? There's some women, 60-year-old women having babies?
Yeah. There's in the news in the last 18 months, I would tell you that there were some postmenopausal women that had actually, gotten themselves impregnated and kept carried the baby and were now mothers because they can. The medical science exists. And I hope they're happy, but I'm just saying, my body can't. It's hard work.
It's very hard, and I mean, I was a grandmother's age when I took a newborn in. It's hard. I was 44. Yeah, it's a young woman's gig, pretty much. Although we keep pushing it back. Okay, enough already on the maternal.
Yes, but for all you who are wondering, my long wait, which is more accurately characterized as their long wait, is over.
Yeah, right. Great.
And I have a beautiful granddaughter, so that's very nice.
Yes. So, I was looking at the papers today and saying, I can't take any of this anymore. I can't. It's just, I know.
I found myself reading old bridal stories from the New York Times. And then I did see one thing that just actually delighted me on one of my news feeds because it reminded me of my grandson who plays this game, Animal Crossing. Which apparently a lot of people play. But anyway, one of the animals that he has caught is a football fish, which I just thought, they're making me think.
I saw that football fish.
Did you see that football fish?
Yeah. Whoever heard of such a thing? And it said it was extremely rare.
Right. And did you read all the way to the bottom of the article and hear about the relative size of why they knew it was a female and her size versus a male?
No. Guys, for those of you who don't know, the thing I saw was a picture of the absolutely bizarre-looking thing that I don't know that I would have known was a fish. It looked like a deflated, I guess, football, kind of, but it was scary looking.
Yeah, it's an oval, flat fish with jagged, and the edges are all jagged, and a mouthful of very sharp teeth. And with a big long stem coming off the top of the head with like a tassel on the end. Right?
Yeah, what was that? I mean, it really looked like an unbelievable monster. And whatever I saw, I guess the picture I was looking at was of one who had washed up on a beach.
Yeah, it's the same story. This is why we were both talking about it. Okay, so that thing, you got to read the story. So that thing on the top that's how it's one of the ways they know it's a female, because only the females have these, and it's got like a light bulb at the end. It's got an iridescent tip, and it attracts prey. And she's about 18 pounds, and she can eat anything that's as big as she is, because her mouth is opens as wide as she is. And the other way that they know that she is a she is because she's about 18 inches long or something like that, and males are never longer than 1 inch, maybe, because their sole purpose is to impregnate her, and they attach themselves parasitically to the female until they are eventually absorbed into her, all but their testes, so that he can impregnate her. Oh man, do you know how many? I did your story. This is one of your stories.
Yeah, this is, and now I listened to that with this big grin on my face, and I wonder if any men are grinning. I love that.
That's why the second that I read all the way to the end, I said, well, this is a Lynn Cullen story if I ever heard one.
No, I didn't see. I had seen the picture on Twitter, I think, and it didn't come with a story attached. Excuse me, God.
Well, anyway, so that's the story on the football fish, but I got very excited, and because my grandchildren are still too young for me to text them directly, I had to send my grandson the article through his mother.
Yeah, but what will he think of the males just being...
Well, I don't know that she'll read the whole story. She'll just show him the picture of the football fish.
Okay.
Or she can read him the story and let it be a lesson to him.
Who ever heard of such a thing? A football fish. I mean, it looks like one of those things that lives very deep in the ocean somehow. You know,
well, it does. It's I forgot the name of the thing, but it's a type of fish that they swim like 15,000 feet down. I mean, they're very low. They are way down in the depths, and that's why she has that little beacon on the top of her head. Because
but so obviously this one died, and somehow.
They don't know what happened to it. Yeah, they did.
How would it not? It's just weird that it would then
be pushed ashore. It's very. Yeah. It's a weirdness. That's why it's so rare to find one. But clearly, they've found them before and seen them before, or Ellis wouldn't be, catching them in Animal Crossing. And they wouldn't have said, "Aha, a football fish!"
Football fish.
Right.
Or we wouldn't have named it. I'm sure it has another more scientific name. I'm sure.
Right? Perhaps.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say I'm sure, because then you would accuse me of bullshitting, because in fact I'm not sure.
Right. Well, I said I'm sure, and I'm not. I can't be sure because I don't know, but I'll bet you $10.
Nah, not worth it.
No, it's got some scientific name. The first human who saw it might not even have been an American.
Suspicious.
Yeah, no, it's some kind of bizarro. Who would have seen one? They would have seen it in the same way that this one was seen, because we don't go low enough in the water to see them in their natural habitat, do we?
I don't think. Yeah, well,
who the hell knows? Enough already. So, as I said, I don't want to talk about anything because I'm just numb. I'm numb. I can't take any more. So, let's skitter around and try to avoid any subjects that will make me crazy. Hey, I missed this thing where they found, at least they've arrested the people they say stole Lady Gaga's dogs.
I thought we already talked about that.
No, we did not. Yeah,
they did. Well, that was like what feels like weeks ago, so it was probably a week ago.
So Not surprisingly.
It was the woman that turned him in.
Yeah, I remember thinking that. Wait a minute. Wouldn't she be a suspect? She happened upon them. There's a big reward. Yeah, so big shocker. Huh? Anyway, I just saw that today. I had not seen it.
Can I just say that I continue to be disgusted by the fact that what we're talking about is not that they caught the people that shot the dog walker and tried to steal the dog walker's dogs. That person is not even discussed. They caught the people that stole Gaga's dogs. The crime is attempted murder, folks. It's like calling, the Derek Chauvin trial, the George Floyd trial. It's like it's as much misinformation and emphasis on the wrong syllable.
Well, the emphasis on the wrong, yes.
And it just keeps getting in, and they just keep doing it.
Well, they do it because what is the thing that grabs?
Because it's clickbait. Because you'll click on it because it says Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga, of course. That's why it's a story. Apparently, these dogs are being stolen all the time because everybody wants them. Because I guess they're the fashionable dog of the year.
Yeah, because people pay too much money for dogs. Go to the pound. It gets dog walkers shot because people steal them.
Well, it reminds me of that wonderful O. Henry story, The Ransom of Redchief, which is, it's about guys who steal a kid for ransom, obviously. And, excuse me, I'm doing two things at once. I lost it there. And, of course, it turns out the kid is hell. It's
a holy terror, and they can't get rid of the kid.
And I can't remember the rest of the story. Did they end up paying the
right? They don't want the kid back.
They said, "Please, we'll pay you to take this kid back," something like that. But it reminded me of that somewhat. Anyway, now Susan, I want to address something that's local here, but we've talked about this woman before. Wendy Bell.
Yes.
Does that ring a bell?
Yes.
This awful woman who was an anchor woman at the station I had been at. And
right. Whose politics differ from yours. Yes.
Oh, a little bit. Who keeps losing jobs. She gets fired from job after job for saying some outrageous thing after another, right?
Right.
So I said, right. God damn it. Susan, I've noticed.
Correct.
I say right. No, I say right at the end. I'll say something yaddy, right? And it's a lot of people do that. But mentioning the Chauvin trial, I, during it, was watching it, and the defense attorney, in his closing remarks, almost after every sentence said, right? Blah, 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 right? And it started driving me mad. And I thought, what an interesting verbal tick, because it's the usual thing of buying time, get your next thought together, but it's also asking for the audience, whoever's listening,
to agree.
To validate, yes.
Isn't that correct? Yeah, isn't that right?
Right. So I became aware of it by my annoyance with his doing it, and then I started hearing myself doing it. And now, almost every time I say right, which sometimes makes, I guess, some sense to say, I keep interrupting myself, saying, there, I said it again. It's driving me crazy. So I will get a handle on it. But who knew that the thing that was annoying me...
Spectacular, yes.
I know, you did. I got on her about her overuse of the word spectacular, and you never say it anymore at all.
No.
Choices. Spectacular achievement, Susan.
We have choices. Yes, we have choices.
Yes.
Correct.
So oh God. Anyway, I will beat this one because, and I'm just saying to everybody, don't get mad at me for, stopping every time I hear it, because I really just should. I want you to know I'm hearing it, okay? What the hell was I talking about?
Who the hell knows?
Oh, Wendy Bell.
Oh, Wendy Bell, right.
Yeah.
That rings the bell, right.
Yeah, so she lost a job at WTAE-TV. Then KDK Radio picks her up, and she's off and running again. And then calls on snipers to shoot protesters or something. And they had to let her go. And then she got picked up by AM radio station here that is owned by a nursing home company, St. Barnabas. And they are as right-wing as you can be. I can tell because they have a fundraiser every year where they have some national figure come in and speak, and that's how they attract people to come. And these national figures have been getting more and more frighteningly right-wing crazed types over the years. So I can see why St. Barnabas would say, "Hey, she's not so bad. Let's bring her on." She started full-time there in March. And a press release came out yesterday saying she's not there anymore. And they won't say why. So she's just like this human wrecking ball. And each time she gets canned, it makes her more of a martyr celebrity.
She gets canceled, right?
To her fans, right? Who are thousands and thousands and thousands of people because she has this strong social media presence. So she's on Facebook and
right.
I think other things. And she has her own gig that she does there. And I don't think there's any doubt that she is desperately hoping that, Fox will pick her up or some other guy. And it could happen, obviously, yet. But she's chosen sides in this American Civil War that we're in. And it's really something. She's the wife, by the way, of a cardiologist here, a very respected cardiologist here. And she spouts this. She speaks at rallies. She spouts the big lie. She does all this stuff. Unbelievable. Unbelievable, really.
So what do you think she did this time?
I'm dying to know. So none of my audience probably listens. Anybody know what she did? Nobody. They're calling it a personnel matter.
Mm-hmm.
Kurt wrote me, and this is how I even found out she got, because I didn't know, and he says, that poor girl just can't seem to hold a job. And wanted to know if I had any inside scoop. No. But the fact that St. Barnabas health system would let her go is really mind-blowing to me, because they're full-on wacko right-wing. Oh, I don't know. Who the hell knows? She's got a talent. She has a skill. Josh writes, hey, Lynn and Susan, I think I remember the TV commercials for St. Barnabas. Yes, and those are the ones that have our local Republican Jim Roddy as the spokesperson. Yeah, it is a huge operation, and I'm sure they got in. They never had a radio station. I'm sure they grabbed this AM radio station to have a right-wing propaganda outlet.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what else is on the menu over there at WJAS, but if they wanted Wendy, I imagine she was surrounded by other horrific right-wing types. I don't know. God.
Well, I always think these things can't happen to a nicer girl,
Yeah, she's pretty horrific. She lives, Susan, right around the corner here. And I have, while walking my dog, seen her walking hers. And we do not acknowledge each other. Oh, God. Like, what could I say? Wendy!
Are you vaccinated? Hi! You could yell, hey!
Oh, God. Okay. Well, what did I see here? Oh, okay, so people like Wendy are, why you end up with statistics like this. The vast majority of Republicans really think that Donald Trump won the last election. They do.
They just want to. They just want to.
But they do.
Well.
And you have this chorus, this anytime you can repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat, it becomes true. It's true. They're so the majority of Republicans believe that Donald Trump actually won and the election was stolen from him. Only 11% of Republicans believe that climate change poses a serious threat. And I'm actually shocked this isn't higher. And 46% think that Derek Chauvin did not commit a crime.
Yeah, I'm shocked too.
Well, God help us.
Yeah, they speaking of Derek Chauvin and not committing a crime, the report on the Breonna Taylor investigator was made public, right? Yeah. And he finds that not one shot should ever have been fired, and this gets sent through, and the only person, and he's supposed to, and the recommendation is to hold the wounded guy that fired the first shot responsible, that what he did was totally inappropriate, and that police department totally ignores that recommendation. The only one that doesn't get fired and mysteriously is allowed to retire with full benefits is the one person that was recommended to be disciplined, and the others were fired. It's just if people want police departments to be trusted, they got to act in a trustworthy fashion.
Yeah,
it's damned inconvenient that that man at retirement age killed somebody, but there it is, and there goes his pension.
Well, no, Susan, where's your heart? Where's your
with Breonna Taylor's family?
Yeah. So there you go. See, but if we get into news, this is where we end up.
Depressed. Okay, so let's not talk about news.
All right, so let's talk about the guy. Did you hear this one? I'm behind the times. I don't know. You probably heard this one too. I mean, there's lots of ways to find yourself in need of rescue by first responders, as we call them. But this would be horrific. You imagine being in, you're visiting Gettysburg, the battlefield, and you get annoyed, you go into a porta potty that's there. While you're in the porta potty, a very large tree decides it was a good day to die, and it falls over, striking the porta potty.
And not killing the guy? Oh my God.
Didn't kill him. The porta potty saved him.
Oh my God. But now here he is, trapped within a porta potty, and no one knows he's there.
I know, but they see the tree. And so maybe he was screaming. Anyway, the fire chief said he's a very lucky guy.
Well, yeah. Sort of like the Jews were chosen, that kind of luck.
Yeah, right. Oh, how nice. You got chosen? Yeah, for what? Okay. Oh, here's another one, and maybe you even know this guy. There's a radio station in St. Louis, FM 92.3 WIL, and probably don't play your kind of music. One of their DJs is a guy named Mason Schrader, and he, for whatever reason, because he's an idiot, got a large tattoo of his station's logo. I'm not sure what body part.
It was on his finger.
On his finger?
Yeah,
on a large tattoo?
on the web of his finger, sort of.
On the web of his finger. How could that be a large? It says here a large tattoo.
Well, I think I saw it. It's on his hand.
Well then this is incorrect. A large tattoo. Anyway, 1 week after he had that stupid thing done to his body, the station fired him.
It's like whenever someone tattoos their boyfriend or girlfriend's name on a body part. No, here's the real thing. Anytime you have the urge to have a recommitment ceremony with your partner or spouse, don't, because the very next day what happens is you file for divorce.
No.
There are certain things that are always bad signs.
I've never heard that.
Well, this is just purely from observation.
Your own personal, really?
Yeah.
They have, so the recommitment ceremony is a desperate last effort to make things right. And doesn't work. Right. Okay, hey, we got a caller. Let's see who. Hello.
Hi, Lynn. I want to go back to Wendy Bell for just real quick.
That's fine. Go ahead.
I have always thought, ever since she started, on the news, that she wants to be the next Rush Limbaugh.
Yeah, sort of. Right.
Why would you?
Right.
That's what it's always seemed to me, and I think that's where she's going. Okay, that's all I have to say. Thanks so much. I'm going to listen to the rest of the show.
Okay,
bye-bye.
I agree with you, though. That's her dream.
Right,
yeah.
right.
She should be like Rush Limbaugh. 6 feet under. Goodbye.
Oh, good.
Bye. No, that was ridiculous. Bye-bye. Didn't think that. Too easy.
But speaking of 6 weeks, 6 feet under, the Missouri House just voted a Rush Limbaugh day, although they turned down a Walter Cronkite day.
These fucking Republicans, God bless them. Jesus Christ, I'm sorry. I'm offending everybody. I'm sorry. Okay. Hey, Bree writes from Malaysia, Susan. That tattoo was on his shoulder.
Oh, sorry.
Well, that's pretty different. How'd you get the web of his fingers?
I don't know. I thought I remember seeing a picture. I can usually rely on my pictorial brain catalog. So I guess I'm wrong.
It just shows to go you that, everything I'm throwing out here is such old news. I just couldn't find anything I could bear to talk about today. Check this out. Why didn't I think of this? You know that author, novelist, written 500 million books? I don't know if I've ever read her. Jodi Picoult? Is that how it's pronounced?
Yeah. I don't think I've read her either, but yes.
Okay, Picoult, guys.
Mm-hmm.
It says here she's a best-selling novelist. Well, turns out she and this other guy, and it turns out this is not the first time she's done this, she has created a 90-minute theatrical production, a musical, guys, about COVID-19. It's sort of like, it makes me think of almost the producers, like Springtime for Hitler.
Springtime for Hitler. Why do we want to sing and dance about COVID? Although there's been lots of cute little things that came out of families desperately trying to creatively entertain themselves.
Yeah, I remember those in the beginning. Those were great. But It's called Breathe. And she says, there's some very funny moments. You laugh more than you might think you would. And anyway, the New York Times reported on it today. Ready or not, it's COVID, the musical.
Yeah, not. Ready, that is. You know, it's sort of like seeing the movie about the plane that went down in Pennsylvania. You know, having remembered it happening, I didn't want to see the movie. And this is COVID. I'm not even over it yet, so I'm certainly not forgetting and wanting to sing and dance about it. Do you?
No.
No.
Oh, this makes everything all right. Barbara sent me this. McDonald's is partnering with the White House to promote awareness of the vaccine. And this summer, customers will see their McCafe cups and McDelivery seal stickers that feature the national We Can Do This campaign. We can do this. All right, whatever. You think that'll work? How many people will get a vaccination because their coffee cup says,
I don't know.
God,
if people are really,
Whoa! I got 3 callers.
Okay.
And, okay, guys who are on the line, I got 3 callers, meaning everybody, sort of rein in your verbosity, which is more than I ever do. But do it, okay?
But it's your show. Okay.
Yeah, that's right. All right, caller number 1. Hello.
Well, good morning, Lynn. Good morning, Susan.
Oh,
certainly
hi.
I'm known for reining in my verbosity. Look, in relation to your statement that whatever X percent majority of Republicans believe, quote unquote, that the election was stolen, it's not what they believe, it's what they make believe.
Well, that's what
there are a few of the most ignorant or the most deluded that will buy into that, into the most ridiculous assertions. But for the most part, they make believe that this is true because they can make money off of it or get elected off of it or because it makes them feel good. Just the way they did make believe about Barack Obama not being an American citizen, or make believe about Hillary Clinton being guilty of all sorts of heinous crimes. It's make believe, malicious.
How can they do that though? How can they do it? Can you do that?
How can they look?
Can you do that? That trick.
I'm borrowing that line from a man named Aaron Ra, who is a very outspoken critic of fundamentalist religion, both Christianity, Judaism, and
Islam. All of them.
Yeah, and he's playing. He states that it's not what they believe; it's what they make believe. It's just what they want to believe. And another reason they're going to make believe it is so they can justify passing these voter suppression laws.
Right.
All right, throughout the red states, and because come 2024, they're going to make it if the Democratic candidate, be it Joe Biden, let's hope he remains in good health, or whomever, wins the presidential election, they're going to go for it. They're going to attempt to steal the election.
Oh,
just
yeah.
as they did last
absolutely. Time. Okay. Well, listen, I know. I'm sorry. Good call. I'm going to cut it off here and let the others get in, okay?
Okay.
John, thank you. Thank you.
Sure.
Next caller. Hello.
All righty.
Oh, all righty.
You used to do that forever when you were on the radio.
What?
You would start. You go to commercial. You come back from commercial, and it was all righty.
No.
Yes.
Oh, how awful!
That
doesn't even sound like me. All righty.
Yeah, it was kind of weird, but it was amusing. I didn't let it bother me.
You did, or you wouldn't remember.
I remember because it's like I didn't care, but it was just like every time you said, I started like sort of laughing to myself because it was just like, okay, yeah, that's what she does.
Never heard that.
To me, that's better than every like serious journalist on NPR starting every sentence with "so."
Yeah.
Or now is a new one. I know.
They just can't start a sentence. What happened to being able to just go for it and jump in and start a sentence?
Well, I have a worse one though.
What?
And I don't like it because, years and years ago, I started therapy. And I was doing something I wasn't aware of that my therapist was making me aware of. Oh, that was a big sigh. I'm like, what? I was sighing all the time. And she's like...
Well, that's why you were in therapy.
Yeah.
I can't believe a therapist would know. Oh, you didn't know you did.
I did not know I was doing it. And I realized that she made me aware that I wasn't breathing. Like I was taking shallow breaths, And I'm a runner, so I could breathe well when I was running. But man, when I was like in a situation, I would just probably like holding my breath.
Yeah.
And then my daughter had a friend come over visiting from England, and he was a very nice young man, and he was here, and he said to me once, "Well, that was quite a sigh." And I'd met the guy for 5 minutes, and I wanted to punch him.
Well, I had to curtail myself. Maybe this is a few years ago, where I would begin every show with this huge sigh, because that's the way we feel. It was like, and today I didn't do it, but I verbalized what would have been the sigh. I can't take it. So if people are not sighing in these times, they're not paying attention. So I wouldn't get on yourself too much, but try to breathe right.
Well, you just got to stop. As soon as the news, watch Gilligan's Island. Okay, that's better for you.
Yeah. All right, you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Got to get to my next caller. Bye. We have a plethora, assuming he didn't drop off. Hello? Hello?
Good morning, ladies.
Hi.
Congratulations, Susan.
Thank you.
What is the child's name?
I'm not announcing that. That's not my news to tell. Parents are very weird about that.
Okay, that's cool. I can dig it.
Yeah.
And I'm a little bit behind you guys. But anyways, what prompted this call was the tattoo thing about people getting tattoos and then having to get them erased. Back in the 80s, before tattoos were so ubiquitous, I had a friend. His real name was Howard, but everybody called him Bunny. And he had a heart tattoo that just said Bunny on it. And I'm like, why do you have a tattoo with a heart that says Bunny? And he explained that originally the tattoo was just a heart, and inside was written Howard or Bunny plus whatever his ex-wife's name was. Okay? He gets divorced.
Howard plus whatever her name was. Yeah.
Yeah, let's just say Jane. Okay?
Okay.
They get divorced. His next wife, guess what her name was?
Bunny.
So he just basically got the whole tattoo filled in and just left a bunny on there.
There you go.
Isn't that strange how things work out like that?
Yeah, it just works out. But
it reminds me of how our father, who was in the real estate business and used to own strip shopping centers, would name the centers, if he had to rename them, simply by reordering the letters that he already owned in the signs.
Good one.
So Bargain Way became AIM Variety, things like this.
Well, it became AIM, right? Bargain. I remember him on the living room floor with these paper with the letters of Bargain Way. B-A-R-G, that was the name of the store. And it was going down the drain. And he was trying to rearrange these letters to come up with another name for another variety store. And all they got was, they got AIM, right? AIM. And that
went on for years and years and years.
That's funny. Well, I just wanted to pass that little story on. And say congratulations, Susan. And
thank you.
I guess we'll catch you next time.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Chris, for God's sakes, Chris has just written in. Did you hear that Wendy Bell was fired from yet another job?
I think that's where we started.
Okay. And here's another. NF says, Wendy probably wants the extra COVID unemployment bonus not to work. Sarcasm. Isn't that awful? You have to put sarcasm in quotes. Because people don't, I remember.
Don't get it. Absolutely don't get it.
No. When the Onion first came into being, I would sometimes see one of its headlines, and think, what a riot, and I'd look at it, and then I would share it on my radio show straight, like, oh, this just in. And I would do, and it's just amazing how many people were willing to believe it.
Well, driving yesterday between my daughter's home and mine, I was listening to the radio, and they were interviewing, perfectly lucid older adults who were not going to get the vaccine. And one of the reasons was that they just weren't sure about this Bill Gates and microchip stuff. And the doctor who was answering their questions, it was so impressive. I mean, he didn't poo-poo it. He didn't say, you idiot. He just said, well, the comparative size of the smallest microchip and the needle through which it would have to pass to be to be dissolved in a liquid vaccine, it's the technology simply isn't there. The chips that are in your pet are surgically implanted. They are not shot in there. And they still didn't. None of it just doesn't compute.
Because they can't or won't or whatever.
They have to come up and when asked, do you have all your other vaccinations? Oh yes. Did you vaccinate your children? Oh, yes. Are your children vaccinated? Oh, yes. But you won't be. No, how do I know what it's going to do to me in 3 years?
All right. Well, we're doomed. I just want to say we're doomed. You cannot have a functioning democracy where the people do have a say. You cannot have that if 40% of the people are
prefer make believe,
yeah,
or can't tell the difference. Absolutely can't tell the difference.
Right.
The Republican Party has managed to make truth so the concept of truth so malleable that one can argue whether there is such a thing.
Well, stop and think, though, Susan, how he started doing, we've never heard the term fake news. He started, anything he didn't want to hear was fake news. Anything that, could be absolutely correct, but fake news. So you do that for a long time, and then you start telling people what is real. And it is actually fake news, but people, I guess I cannot believe how easy it is.
Yeah, it's very easy to manipulate
people.
I mean, there wouldn't be whole industries, but there's whole industries are built on it. It's called marketing.
Yep. And we've gotten very good at it. And now with social media, we're doomed. This is what I didn't want to talk about. We're doomed.
Okay, go back to, I don't know.
We're screwed. We're finished. It's over. Okay, wait a minute. So, did you hear that
probably
Lockheed Martin, the aerospace.
Yeah, I know who Lockheed Martin is.
Was in possession of materials from crashed UFOs. And that came from an article in the New Yorker, which was quoting former Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid.
Mm-hmm. There's all this UFO stuff that's beginning to leak out of the federal government.
That Lockheed Martin, why the hell should they have it, has some retrieved materials from crashed UFOs, and he said that he had asked to examine those materials, and they rebuffed him. What the hell?
Well, then how do we know that they are what they are?
I don't know where the fake news is here. I do like to, know what really is going on. And this is a place where we simply have never gotten a straight story. Never. We're being played. Okay, wait. Here's something else I want to wing by you. There was a big dispute with the IRS and the estate of Michael Jackson. And it was about what was the value, the worth of Michael Jackson's name and likeness at the time of his death.
For estate tax purposes, they have to value the asset of his persona.
Okay, well,
so they can tax him on his very being? I think that's a little weird.
Here, listen to this. A tax court judge has ruled that Michael Jackson's name and likeness were worth $4.2 million when he died. That's ludicrously low. Don't you think?
Well,
but get this. His family, the estate, was saying his name and likeness should be valued at $2,105. How they got that, I don't know. Since his reputation had been devastated at the time of his death, and
I'm with
likeness was worth.
I'm with them.
Are you kidding? Really?
No, and I think it's sort of. I think they can demonstrate it.
Well, they must have, because the IRS was arguing. Here's what the judge had. Michael Jackson's estate was saying, "What? No, it wasn't worth a penny. It was worth $2,000," which I think is
well, it's their side. This is a negotiation.
Okay, the IRS was arguing that his face, his likeness, and his name were worth $161 million.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow between that $2,000 and $161 million, not a King Solomon, because it wasn't down the middle, this is a win for the estate.
Yeah, he agreed with the estate.
At $4.2 million.
Mm-hmm. I think that's more accurate.
But I mean, all of these numbers are made up out of whole cloth.
Well, they are made up, but not exactly, because there are actual revenue streams connected to the stuff that they're looking at. And one of the ways that the estate could prove their side was by showing the decline in the revenue stream after his reputation took a direct hit.
Yeah.
And, and the IRS was valuing it at the top of his, pristine fame. So, no, neither one was actually totally accurate, but the family was more accurate. And the other revenue streams continue to produce. So I really think the valuing of the asset of his name took a real hit and should have been greatly diminished. It doesn't mean that the other assets that are with his estate and continue to churn out revenue don't continue to do it.
Yeah. So, okay, good enough. There was an article in the local paper, Susan. It was a book review, actually, but a book review of a thriller written by Stacey Abrams.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's what the reviewer said. First of all, he said, it grabs you from the first sentence. It's a rave review. And he says, how the hell does Stacey Abrams find time to write this? And the book is a procedural, so it's a lot of, and medical. There's all kinds of information in it. He says that would require so much knowledge and or research, and he's just blown away. I think this Stacey Abrams might be one of the most impressive human beings on the planet.
I think so too.
Yeah, I just find her amazing, and she was featured in the New York Times book review this weekend. When they do a feature of they ask a celebrity, so what are you reading, and what's your favorite books, and this and that. And dear God, reading what her favorite books are is just beyond belief, including the fact that she and her siblings have a book club in the family. So they're all always reading one book that's the same. She has like 5 or 6 books that she works on constantly, goes from this one to that one. Her mom was a librarian. She said, my nose has been in a book. She's just, but her willingness to do hard work, right? There I said right. But that gets her, she's responsible for the fact that Joe Biden has even a chance at getting anything done.
Right. It doesn't occur to her that hard work is not what it takes, because hard work is what it's taken her, in spite of her natural brilliant talents and clear abilities and constant achievement. It nonetheless kept, for her especially, she absolutely did persevere, and that's what it took, perseverance. Hard work. That's how you get what you want. And what impresses me is when, she doesn't get what she wants, she goes home, she cries for 3 hours, and then she gets back to work. That's what's impressive about her. She never stops. She goes, okay, there's a boulder in my path. I'm walking around it.
She's amazing. Yeah, she's dogged and smart as holy hell.
And imposing, and the wonderful photography they're taking of her, making her look, just beautiful in her powerfulness. I just love it.
Well, I don't know what picture you saw.
Well, there's a great picture of her in a sort of cape-like pantsuit, looking down at the camera. She's looking very tall and statuesque, and she just looks. I like her. That's all I have to say.
I like her too. And by the way, I think she was asked, and I think she said unabashedly, yes, she would love to be president.
Of course she would.
Oh my, we could do voice. So I got 2 quotes. I don't have any good obits today. I'm sorry about that. I have 2 quotes. I noted that the Foreign Press Association, those guys that put on the Golden Globes are taking it on the chin right now, and NBC is not going to do the Golden Globes next year, and because it's just apparently the Foreign Press is. I'm losing a letter there. International Foreign Press? No, Foreign Press. What is it that does the Golden Globes?
You have the International Foreign Press.
No,
it can't be the Foreign Press.
Foreign Press
Foreign
is
Press.
It's Foreign Press something association or
I have
somebody
no
could
idea.
help me here. Anyway, because there's no diversity. Turns out there's only something like 85 members of the entire association. That's it. And they decide who gets these awards. And they sell the award show to NBC, which pays them $60 million. Can you imagine? There's 85 people. in this so-called important, organization. And they have been shaking down NBC $60 million a year. Unbelievable. So one of the things that happened is that Tom Cruise has given back his 3 Golden Globes. And
I'm sure he'll miss them. Yes,
yeah,
I'm sure that's a huge thing for
like,
him.
oh yeah, right, what the hell. And then I saw this quote from Peter Ustinov, the wonderful actor. To refuse awards is another way of accepting them with more noise than is normal. Ain't that the truth?
That's right.
You get more attention refusing the award, right?
Right, or you can do it twice. You can accept it and get attention, and then you can give it back and give it attention.
By giving it back, right. And be righteous. Again, showing your virtue. Okay, there's that one, and then I'll leave you with this one by Voltaire, and man, I so agree with this, and I so wish a lot of people would take this in on both sides of the aisle, even non-political people in general. We all need to keep this in mind. Voltaire said, well, he said it in French, and I can't, but he said, this is the translation, doubt is not a pleasant condition, but certainty is absurd. That's it.
Yeah, only if it's in sometimes I'm certain, like if it's in reference to needing a bathroom,
Yeah, well, yeah, but we're not talking about that. But certainty is absurd.
Right. And
you think of how often people are absolutely certain about a million things that they probably should be doubtful of. And it just again shows that reality is chaotic and complicated and doesn't neatly ever do anything much. It is just a mess, and it's changing all the time, and unforeseen things happen, and you just have to try to keep your balance. And a lot of people are simply incapable of that, so they have decided to abandon their own rational selves, right, and to be certain. They've decided what they're certain about, and they make believe, as the caller said.
Yeah, well.
And we're back to, we are so screwed.
Isn't it nice? It's nice. That was a very nice little circular hour. Good for you.
There you go, I'll tell you. All right, you guys, that's it. It was an hour and a little bit more.
Right.
So, Jesus, thank you. Hope you have a nice, quiet day that you might be on call, but you can relax.
Maybe. I'm going to see if I can box, but my back is out.
Okay, well, don't be stupid. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Talk to you soon. Bye. Bye. And you guys, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay? Somebody send me some good news.
Lynn Cullen Live, Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. and archived at pghcitypaper.com. The opinions expressed on Lynn Cullen Live are those of the host and do not necessarily reflect the viewpoints of Pittsburgh City Paper or its advertisers.